Test, test. Hey, I'm up late, so might as well be on. Let me know if you can hear me. Alright, I'm just gonna be painting, so this may not be very interesting. But I figure I'm up late, so maybe you guys are too. Good morning. I'm doing well. I'm tired, but I'm doing something for a friend. God dang. I'm using the dissolve brush function just a little bit on the back of his cape. It just gives it a little bit of grain, right? So when it prints, it has just a little bit of texture. But let me zoom in and you can see it. Yeah, you see that? How did I come up with the idea for the Red Rooster? It's kind of a convergence of things. Well, I'm from the South, and I grew up in Arkansas, which kind of in a suburb of Little Rock. But my grandfather's a cattle farmer, and outside of Little Rock, it's pretty much like all farms, pretty much in between Dallas and Memphis. So, and little bitty towns and towns all over the Delta, and then towns up in the hills. And a lot of them are like these blue highway towns, and they're like, half dead. Nobody even lives in them anymore. After they built the highway system in the 50s. And so we're driving around all the time, and I'm seeing these towns, and I'm just picturing what they would have been like with more activity in the 30s, and the kinds of characters you might run into. But the character himself was born out of my work on Captain America the Patriot. So it was kind of towards the end of my Marvel career. And I just drew this character in between a couple of pages on a scrap piece of paper. And he had striped pants. And he looked a little stupid. And I put this weird thing on his head, and he looked like a chicken. And then it all kind of converged. That's what happened. And then I refined it. And then I started showing it to my friends and Elizabeth, and they thought there was just something there. So it kind of sat around on it for about for like 4 or 5 years. Didn't do anything with it. Kept thinking about different story ideas and whatnot, and nothing really came together. And then about 6 months ago, I just kind of had, I knew I wanted to do a book. I was going to do a book regardless this year, and get it out in 2019. And I've been thinking about this futurist project for a long time, and I had a story. But my writing partner for that book, Patrick, he got married, and he got 2 promotions, and we were like going to do it. We were going to do that book. We were working on it pretty hard, and then he just got really, really busy with work, and I knew it couldn't happen. So then I started thinking about the Red Rooster again, and I just made a commitment. And then after thinking about it, it just kind of hit me. Most of the story kind of came together, at least the basics. A bunch of wild threads. And then my wife discovered Mark Pellegrini at a dinner or at a luncheon, and she thought we would get along and that he had some talent. And so I met Mark for lunch, and we talked about some ideas, and we really grooved. And we just started working together, and that was like 4 months ago maybe. And I told him all about everything I had for the Red Rooster, which was kind of a bunch of this Batman in a barn type character, and I had the basics of the character and what his challenges were, and what he had to overcome as a hero, and all that kind of stuff, and a few wild ideas for other characters and the world he lives in. And Mark helped me kind of tie it all in together. We've plotted about 12 issues worth of material. And Mark has just turned in the first draft for the 48-page special for Indiegogo. And I'm going through that and making notes, and he's working on the second draft. And it's coming together in pretty short order, actually. But that's the basics of it. Is it 5 a.m.? It's 4:30. Y'all should be in bed. What are you doing? I suspect when our Indiegogo campaign gets going, I'm not going to get much sleep at all. No, my wife's gonna color the book. I'm gonna do some. I'll probably paint the covers, but there's only gonna be one cover for the Indiegogo, so there you go. If you're not familiar with my wife's work, Elizabeth Breitweiser, she colors a lot of. Anyway, she's pretty well known in the business. Eisner nominated. Kill or Be Killed, Outcast, Batman. That's what she's working on right now. When am I going to launch the Indiegogo? I decided today. I don't know if I'm going to spill the beans yet, though. I kind of want to make it a surprise. It's going to be in July. Like, without a doubt. We got a plan. Are you guys artists? Or are you just hanging out? Thank you. That's very nice of you. So Ethan got you into comic books. Well, that's really good. It's very cool. It's an exciting time to get into comic books. Umbrella guy. Nice to see you here. Travis is an artist, and he's also in Arkansas. How about that? Yeah, I don't know when Umbrella Guy sleeps. I'm not usually up this late. I just figure he's probably always up late watching horror movies. On his good pain meds. Arkansas is underrated. I floated the Buffalo River just a few weeks ago, and that was really nice. Very beautiful. Umbrella is up late watching the best horror movie, Marvel's Sales. What'd you guys think about that Sean Gordon Murphy thing? Was he just joking around? And do you think they really can't afford him? I don't think they can afford him. I know they couldn't afford Elizabeth. Yeah. Under 30K in Manhattan. You gotta buy the cheap cat food, I guess. Yeah. I'm serious. I don't think they could afford the colors that come out of the studio at Marvel. But they don't really. I think they lost our number. That's what we were told. I'm not joking. Not joking. I bet CB makes plenty of money. Oh man, follow Umbrella Guy. He's at 4,999. Just push him over 5,000 tonight. He'll owe me forever. So Marvel printing quality sucks, and they charge $4 a book. Man. I haven't bought a Marvel comic book in a while. A long while. Well, I'm glad you paid $4 for a quality Marvel comic book because yeah, we're probably gonna charge $25 for a quality. Uh, it'll probably end up being like 56 pages, but we're gonna give you lots of extra stuff, so don't worry. You guys okay with that? With that pricing? The Jawbreakers Cyberfrog price, $25. You get all this extra stuff. All right. All right, all right, all right. Umbrella Guys at 5,000. Congratulations. All right. Yeah, I mean, it seems like, I mean, I guess everybody's okay with paying that. I've seen a few people grumble about like the shipping price, and that's kind of a bummer. But you know, you gotta ship. And you know, this is the. I think these books are going to be extremely collectible. For one thing. That's why I recommend you get two. one to get graded and one to read. Oh yeah, my Patreon. We have a Patreon account. I think it's just Patreon slash Brightwiser. You can get a signed comic from our comps stash, of which we probably have thousands that are taking up room in my closet, and we're gonna give them away. Well, we're not gonna give them away. We're sending them out to patrons at a certain tier. You can get a sketch, a watercolor head sketch, for 125 bucks, and if you just want to be on for a month and get one sketch, that's fine. It's just gonna be characters from our creator-owned stuff. For now, we have a $50 tier that gets you a monthly print. And it's just gonna be kind of like a random thing. It might be from a Red Rooster cover, or pinup, or something from the Futurists, if you're familiar with that property. It won't be any Marvel or DC stuff because I don't know, man. I just don't feel right. I used to sell some when I worked for Marvel. I'd sell the Marvel prints, but even then, I felt a little sleazy. You know, because they're not mine. Alright, Umbrella Guy's gonna get a sketch. Alright. Yeah, I think you're right. It is a real sign, isn't it? Very interesting. I don't know. I think we're making history. I didn't really hit me till the other day, but I think this is historic. I'm doing it on a Cintiq, which is like a Wacom tablet, but the screen is attached to it, so I'm not using a mouse. But I hear that Adam Hughes uses a mouse still. That's crazy. I don't know. Yeah, it's a similar excitement, you know. I mean, I was a kid when Image the image revolution happened, and there was a lot more money in the business and a lot more speculation. I think the real trick about it is, you know, where do we go from here? We can fund all these things on Indiegogo, but it can't be it, right? It can't be like the end of the road. There's got to be a next step. You know, we got to get these books in front of people, like real people, physical books. Indiegogo it seems pretty cool. I've talked to somebody from Indiegogo actually, and I think they're really enthused about what's going on. But that door could close. That's the problem. And then eventually, I think what's going to happen, you guys are probably going to see like a ton of books. I think everybody's seeing this money that's being made. Other creators, I know a few, and so they're all gonna like rush the gates. So we saw it coming, so we were prepared, which is good for us. But I worry that people are gonna get tapped out. What do you guys think? Start a new company. I don't know, maybe. It could happen. Is he hero or anti-hero? The Red Rooster, I don't know. I mean, he kind of fits both sometimes. So in the special that we're doing for Indiegogo, it takes place in 2 time periods, and in one time period he is kind of an anti-hero. Is he communist? You see, he had a fall from grace, so he was a celebrated vigilante folk hero, known across the country as the Red Rooster, and he had endorsement deals and a celebrity status, right? And then there's this huge fall from grace, which is the story that we tell, and it's bookended by 2 vignettes that take place in not the present day, but like you know, 5 years ahead of his fall from grace, and in those scenes he's much more of an anti-hero. Like he's not this character that you're looking at right here on this painting. He looks like a hobo, but I don't want to give too much away. Is he a commie? No, he's a capitalist. Like, I mean, he's definitely a capitalist. That'll be like, that'll be totally clear in the special. For better or for worse, like he's like I said, he's got an endorsement deal. He's the face of a famous soda company. So we're kind of exploring some of these things about celebrity and pop culture. And what it can do to your values, right? So the Red Rooster represents a certain set of ideals, because it's a mantle that's passed from generation to generation. And perhaps he's not doing the wisest things with it, and that has consequences. Yeah, you gotta fund that operation somehow, right? You could be like the West Coast Avengers, where they all live together. in a barn and we stream it on like a Big Brother show. You guys excited about that? What did I think about Chris Pratt's acceptance speech? Yeah, I thought that was incredibly brave in many ways. Yeah, I heard about that. Red Rooster is a roasted chicken chain in Australia. What did he say? Oh, anyway, he it's worth a search on YouTube. So he gave like 9 rules for life, and he mixed some like kind of in his usual affable way. He mixed some very comedic things in with some sort of what I would consider, I guess, serious life advice, and also a statement of his faith and recommendations, I guess, for people to, I don't know. Yeah, just watch it. It's 5:30. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. I can't remember it all. It was just kind of what I thought was interesting is he says 9 rules for life, and he starts with 1 or 2 that were really funny, and then he tells everybody that they have a soul, and then the room fell silent, like they didn't know how to like contextualize that. Like, do you have a soul, right? Which I think we do, right? There's got to be something more than. But then he kind of won over the crowd. Anyway, I thought it was great. Very, very interesting. I'm gonna have to try me some Red Rooster when I go to Australia, if I ever do. It's a long way away. I don't know if I want to fly that far. And I just figure it looks a lot like Texas, but with kangaroos. And I can go to Texas in like 3 hours. Red Rooster versus Colonel Sanders? Maybe we could do that. You know what I'd like to do? I'd like to pitch get this comic out, get some wide distribution, and then pitch Chick-fil-A. I want to pitch Chick-fil-A on the Red Rooster. Did you see that? He's red and white. He's about chicken. I'm not even joking. Never fights crime on a Sunday. That's pretty funny. Yeah, I love Chick-fil-A. It's really popular around here, as you might suspect. We ate it the other day. I heard somebody once call it like a hate sandwich. That's funny. Hey, this is kind of fun. Love Trump's hate sandwich. Where's my cat? I don't know, he's probably asleep. He may show up. Yeah, I saw that. I tried to make a little hay with that about Jack Dorsey eating at Chick-fil-A during Pride Month. Man. It must be, I don't know. What kind of life is that to have to think about that stuff all the time? Make sure you're not offending anybody. Miserable. Red Rooster drug PSA. I don't know. I think the Red Rooster's probably pretty chill about weed. Rooster madness. Yeah, Twitter's crazy. Before you guys came along, oh man. Mental. The story takes place in the 1930s, but Frank Cooper, who is the Red Rooster, get it? He's Frank Cooper. He's a World War I veteran, and so we have a. If we can make it to issue 5, and I think we can, we're gonna tell some of the backstory on how he became the Red Rooster, and it all ties into his experience in World War I. It's actually my favorite issue that we've plotted. Frank Cooper, you don't like that? Do I read any current comics? No, not really. It's been a little while. And part of that is I just don't want to. I don't know. I kind of want to just do my own thing and let it be kind of completely separate from everybody else's. You know? I know that, you know, Elizabeth gets real, we both do. So we'll get like kind of thinking our work doesn't look real good, or kind of just kind of down on what we're doing, and sometimes we forget, like, her colors are great, and I feel like our story might be really good, but sometimes I'll take her to the comic book shop and I'll say, let's just go look at some Marvel comic books. It'll make you feel better. Some of that stuff is just real bad. So we do occasionally go to the comic book store and buy a few things. I always buy a few things, of course. But I'm not like following anything like really close. But then we go to the comic book store and she's like, yeah, these are really bad. I don't feel so bad anymore. Who's going to be the bad guy? So in the 48-page special, he has... So this is kind of ripping off Batman a little bit. He has a rogues gallery that he's done battle with all throughout his career. And they all come back for this big finale where he has his big downfall. And they finally get the best of him. In this sort of climactic battle at the end. For the regular series, with a different set of villains, and it becomes far more macabre, and they're creepy and cultish. It's like an ancient cult. But in the special, the Rogues Gallery is much more colorful. You'll see. Oh. Marvel's colorist is the janitor using the bucket fill tool. I don't know if it's that bad, but I don't know. Some of it's pretty doggone bad. They cut rates really bad. Like when we left Marvel, that was like 2013. They were cutting coloring rates. I don't know, should I say? I don't know what they are now, so maybe they're better now. But they were bad. Not livable. Like $80. Can you believe that? $80? It might have been lower than that. They were probably paying some of the foreign people even lower, even less. That was like the starting rate. It had fallen from like 120. Or it fell from 110 to like 80 or less. For colors, yeah. No talk about Marvel. Uh, okay. Um, I don't name names though. I don't think that's cool. We did. Elizabeth had somebody tell her on the way out because we decided we were going to go independent and just pursue other things. It was very stressful. The last couple of years at Marvel were really hard. You know, it's not all their fault, though. We had to learn to be better business people and stuff like that. But that's how you learn. You learn the hard way. But yeah, on the way out the door, she was told she would fall on her face, as in she wouldn't be a success, which is really funny. It wasn't funny at the time though. It's very upsetting. Yeah, it was rude. I was once told, yeah, should I tell you guys any of this stuff? I guess I'm not telling you who said any of this. Oh yeah, we did prove them wrong. Yeah, we made a lot more money after we left Marvel. Maybe not the first year, but you know, we sat down and started reading business books and books on how to negotiate, books like The Art of the Deal. And then just decided, you know, we were gonna make our own way. A lot of artists, you know, will get wrapped up, and I was guilty of this myself too, right? You got to just make sure the art is the best, and you sacrifice to make great art, and don't think about how much money you're making per hour. So that we just had to change our mindset in a lot of ways. Just treat it more like a business. Yeah, I was once told, well, in a negotiation, that because I lived in Arkansas, they weren't going to raise my pay rate. Isn't that something? Like, you do the exact same work. That was their excuse. Like, that was like that was the crappiest excuse I've ever heard. Thought it was pretty low. Yeah, equal pay for equal work, right? I thought that was the deal. It may be illegal, actually. I didn't know the law as well back then. Yeah, because we had a lower standard of living, yeah. But I think there is, I don't know if that equal pay for equal work law, it's like a law from the 1960s. I don't know if that covers that. I don't think that's the name of the law either. And it was like a negotiation. Like, I didn't have to. Anyway, I'm a better negotiator now. And I know what I'm worth per hour. Yeah, there was a few. Yeah, I mean, there were good things too. I mean, like, it's not all bad. It wasn't all bad. So, I mean, they flew me out there. They flew me up to New York a few times, a couple of times to do a artist like workshop type thing. I was there with some really talented artists, and Howard Chaykin was our tutor, and Klaus Janson was our tutor for like 3 or 4 long days. So yeah, you take the good with the bad. That was a great experience. Like, I'll never forget that. I went twice. Learned a lot. Identify as a Californian. That's before people started doing stuff like that. Or I might have. Yeah, Klaus was awesome. He, I don't know. I think he's a really good teacher and a great guy. I like him quite a bit. He's very even-tempered and calm and experienced and happy to share his knowledge. I like Klaus very much. Go to meetings and you're gonna get me in trouble. Go to meetings in blackface. That's not nice. No, I can't super chat yet. That sucks, man. I have 1,000 followers. I thought that's all I needed, but it won't let me monetize until I get 4,000 watch hours. So that's why I'm sucking up all your time, so I can get to my 4,000 watch hours and trigger my super chats. Yeah, I applied for monetization, but it says I have to have 4,000 watch hours, and I only have like 300. So it's going to take me a little while to get there. I think they've changed some things over the last like couple of months, and I like just missed the boat or something like that. Yeah, 4,000 hours over over a year. I think we can get there. I mean, I picked up like nearly 300 hours in a week. Smash that like button. All right. Tip jar umbrella guy, is that an application? I keep hearing about that. Is that like a plugin or a link? I do Bitcoin. I don't know if anybody does that. The worst people to learn from are those who won't share knowledge and steal their students' ideas. Well, that is awful. I don't think I had any teachers that stole my ideas. But that would be pretty awful. Post videos of my cat. Yeah. You know what we're thinking about doing? We are thinking about doing some of that, actually. His name is Chumley. Did Mike Miller get... No, I was into Bitcoin before Mike Miller, I think. Maybe. I don't know, maybe about the same time. I don't know Mike Miller very well. A little bit. We're friends on Facebook. Hello from Finland. Well, hello from America. Marietta is also drawing tonight. Or it's very in the morning. Marietta is on normal hours. Oh yeah, Chumley, my cat. Yeah, we're gonna. I think we're gonna make Chumley plushies. Like for real. He's a special cat. No, the 3 stars don't. Well, no. I guess I should make them mean something. They have to mean something. I just haven't figured it out yet. The 3 stars on the Red Rooster's chest. No, it just began as like an embellishment. I guess maybe I was drawing Captain America at the time when I came up with the character, and so I was just used to drawing stars on chests, and I thought it had a nice aesthetic. But it should mean something, right? I better make it mean something before, like, these SJWs get a hold of it and decide it means something, like, really nasty. Truth, loyalty, and justice. Yeah. Yeah, it could. That's pretty good. It could mean that. The Son, the Father, and the Holy Spirit could mean that. 3-star general? No, he wasn't a general in the war. I don't want to give too much away about that storyline. Ninja stars, yeah, they come off, and he can throw them. I don't know about that. Patriarchy, cultural appropriation, and microaggressions. Wise guy. Yes, this is an all ages. Well, the word all ages is a little loaded, but yeah, it's like an all ages book. I mean, it's by all, you don't probably won't want to give it to like a 8-year-old or a 7. Well, maybe 8. Like it's not gonna have any language or nudity in it, but it might have some salaciousness. Like I don't know, it can't be like too safe. There's nothing fun about being too safe. So we'll have like busty leggy ladies in it. We gotta have a few things that like these weirdos don't like. Yeah, this is something yeah, you could read it if you were a kid, I think, yeah. No nudity. Clyde is out. No nudity. We're gonna put big-titted ladies in it. Dancing ladies. But they won't be naked. They want nudity. I got something they don't like, a scale. That's funny. Sexy ankles? I like ankles. Especially if they're real fat and round. What's some work I've done before? So, my first big breakout thing was at Marvel. It was Drax the Destroyer, which is a 4-issue miniseries I did with Keith Giffen, who's a really interesting and funny guy. And so that was actually, for anybody that doesn't know, I designed, Drax was the creation of Jim Starlin, and he looked really goofy way back when, in the 80s. And so this was a reboot of Drax the Destroyer, and it was kind of a lark, like it was supposed to be like a nothing book. I redesigned Drax to his current, basically his current look, like how you see him in Guardians of the Galaxy, with the tattoos and the knife and the sort of greenish gray skin and bald head and the colorization, all that kind of stuff. That was me. And yeah, so we did this 4-issue mini, and it was kind of a big, it was a reasonably decent hit, actually, and a fun book. And then a few other books, the Guardians of the Galaxy series spun off, and that was like in 2005, 2006. And then they ended up doing a whole bunch of cosmic stuff after that. Did I get a movie credit? No, I didn't get shit. I keep thinking I'm gonna call my lawyer and like for real, just like I know I'm not gonna name any. As I said, I'm not gonna name names, but yeah, I know somebody that did a couple of redesigns that ended up in the Ghost Rider movie, and they got like $5,000. So yeah, thanks for the reminder. I need to write my lawyer, because they're making a lot of money off this. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's pretty shitty of them. Call James Gunn. Is he a lawyer? I mean, I know the contract. I knew the contract when I signed it. Like, I don't know if they. I don't know. Maybe I need to dig up my contract. Hopefully, I still have it. Oh, he's the director. Oh yeah, that's right. Did they do the same thing to Starlin? I don't know. Maybe I should write Jim Starlin. So that was the very first thing I did at Marvel was redesign Drax the Destroyer. I spent a day in the office with Andy Schmidt. I like Andy. He was a good editor. And he's not there anymore. All my favorite editors left. Because they're smart. Am I working on the debut, or does your property have a known history? Will the first issue be an origin story? So the first issue, our Indiegogo special, which we're marketing as 48 pages, but our first stretch goal will be to extend the length of the issue by several pages. It might end up being 56 or 64 pages. So it is not an origin story. It's the story of the downfall of the Red Rooster, but it is meant to be the kickoff event for a series of books. Maybe a serial, like a monthly serial. Maybe it depends on how things shake out. You never know. We just want to get this character out there and some of these ideas out there and see where the wind takes us. We'll hint. Yeah. We're not going to tell his origin story till like issue 5. It has its roots in World War I. But then you find out that the Red Rooster is a mantle, right? That's passed from generation to generation, and each Red Rooster is supposed to be trained in these certain set of ideals and in this certain way of being and acting. And then they're supposed to select a protege, right? But for this character, it doesn't go so well. Yeah, it's like it's a bit like a backward storytelling. Yeah. But that opens up a lot of possibilities, right? So we're telling the story of his downfall, but if it's hugely popular, we can go back and tell like the stories of his heyday and his origin. A bit like the Phantom. Yeah, actually. I hadn't really made that connection, but that's, yeah, sort of. Yeah, but for the 3 stars could stand for the Red Roosters that came before. Yeah, maybe. There are many Red Roosters, though. I want to leave that. I want that to be the impression. That way, people's imaginations can run wild. I like that. It's like a open universe kind of thing. Like, how far back does it go? Nobody knows. Ones that died in action. I don't know, that's pretty cool. Oh, okay. Yeah, new people in here, so I don't want to give away the date just yet. We did settle today, and I've moved it up some, but that's all I'm gonna say. But it's gonna be in July, and I'm gonna kind of drop it as it's make it a bit of a surprise. Oh, great. Well, if you love Zorro and the Phantom, I think you'll like this book. I want to have Mark Pellegrini come on maybe on Saturday, who's my co-writer and co-plotter, and we'll talk more about it. Yeah, it's got, yeah, the Rocketeer. I could see that. Yeah, I mean, it kind of comes out of that, my love of similar things. I wanted to evoke that sense of Americana that you get from the Rocketeer. I think it's I don't know, you know, like, we're not getting anything like that. I mean, we're starting to get a few things like that now. And what's strange, we got like a bunch of navel-gazy crap. Well, it's not all crap. But, you know, this Americana stuff, it gets it's not always successful and always profitable, but I would venture a guess that it's less risky, yet fewer people try it. I don't know if they think it's like kind of corny or what. I don't know. It's not cool, not hip. But it sure does. It sure resonates. It's got a big audience. That's my bet. I'm not trying to be cool or hip. I'll leave that to all the cool hip guys in comics. Mark is awesome. I think Mark's going to be a big star. I'm already married. I don't have to be cool. I guess that's kind of true. Yeah, Americana can come off as corny. Yeah, maybe that's it. Right? People don't. It's risky. I think I think it's really probably could come off as corny, like if you don't have maybe the context correctly, right? If you don't have some roots. I don't know that necessarily is always the case, but maybe that's part of it, right? Like if you grew up in the city and you try to tell in an urban environment, you try to tell some Americana heartland story, it might come off as a little cornball and whatnot. I don't know. Drax the Destroyer is from 2005. Yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, so I kind of got off track. Yeah, I started there, so you can pick up that those 4 issues or the miniseries. After that, I did Captain America: The Chosen with David Morrell. David Morrell is famous for being the creator of Rambo and the novelist of First Blood, which is obviously his creation and his book. He was really cool to work with. So that was a really good book. It was really well written. Red Rooster linked to a banjo? I don't know, I guess it could be. Yeah. Why not? I think if I ever did like an animated... This is what I'd like to do. Is an animated feature-length film. Like really well done. Animated feature. And I'd probably put it to some really nice roots style music and blues music. I think that'd be cool. I still earn revenue from... Oh yeah, like, I mean, I'll get a royalty. It's not too much, but, you know. They pay me. So the deal is like when we went independent, we just learned to negotiate better contracts. We knew what we were worth, and how to make money in this business a little better. So when we started basically doing more color studio stuff and doing these books for Image Comics, the Image Comics pay us much better. Because we've negotiated this different arrangements with the creators that we worked with. So things like Kill or Be Killed and Velvet, Fade Out. Like if you just want to, if you want to read our books and send us some money. And they're actually pretty great books. Although Captain America: The Chosen is a great book. And so is Drax. Those two I'm really proud of. Those are good reads. But you want to check out Velvet, I think would be my first recommendation, with Steve Epting as the artist. And then Kill or Be Killed. And then the Fade Out. You can get an idea of some of my wife's color work. She's Eisner nominated twice. And she was robbed twice. I can say that, right? I am using Photoshop. See, Larry knows she was robbed. Mississippi John Hurt. I've heard that name before. I'll check it out. Does it support me if you buy from Comixology? You know what? I think so. Yeah. Yeah, we get a digital royalty statement in every so often. I have not seen Incredibles 2, but I want to. You know, I thought this might be really, really awkward and weird, but I'm kind of enjoying it. Well, you make us feel special, Larry. We appreciate it. We're just gonna have to, you know, make people pay attention. It's just not in our nature. Because it's... Elizabeth's pretty shy. Yeah, I thought it'd be awkward to paint and chat, but it's not. It works out. I mean, maybe if there was only like 3 people here and nobody was talking. But we've got 30, we've had like 35, 36 people here. That's pretty good. I don't have a piano. I have a guitar. Ethan sent me the chords for, I was trying to work them out and I figured out it was in D minor, but I couldn't figure out the rest. But yeah, he sent me the chords for I Lick the Butter in Your Fridge. You guys want to hear me play that? Not right now. One day though, we'll do an acoustic guitar version. Lick the butter in your fridge. I like the butter song. No, I'm not gonna sing it, not right now, but I will later. I gotta learn the chords. Piece of George? Yeah, that's my wife's favorite song. I didn't get it at first. I wasn't really listening. I was like, Piece of George? I just don't get it. She had to walk me through. Oh, thank you. Yeah. We try. Thank you. No, I didn't. I didn't ask her that question, but I will. Neither like, lobster claws or cow feet for hands doesn't do me any good. Neither of those. Monkey feet. Monkey feet would be better than lobster claws. Yeah, that's what it was. It was monkey feet. Well, we could. Monkeys are dexterous, so it's kind of a no-brainer. Red Rooster south of the border? That could happen. I don't see why not. He is a bad hombre. I don't know. I think I could still make money at it, even if I had monkey feet for hands. Because people would just give me money because I was, you know, like a freak guy on the street corner making art with monkey hands. Yeah, I think we need some Americano. I mean, when you think of Americana, you think of a man in a chicken costume, right? I mean, who doesn't? Could still work at Marvel with monkey feet hands. You know, maybe. I don't see why not. True diversity, I think. So I think this Rocketeer thing, that's probably going to tap into some of that too, right? I'm excited. I think the Americana stuff is important because you drift too far away from it. You end up with stories that are all about critiquing your culture, which I think there's a place for that, right? But once you go so far down that path, then everything becomes it all seems to be kind of like self-immolating in a way. And then there's this craving to for just a reminder, an aspirational reminder of what it should be, right? And then that becomes more effective in changing people, in instructing people, in entertaining people. I think we're kind of at that moment. Yeah, the deconstructionist stuff. People just get tired of that. It's depressing. I mean, like, there are moments when you got to look at your surroundings and say, hey, things aren't right or whatever. But things are pretty damn good. And a lot of people feel that way. And then they're like, why is all our art so damn depressing? Yeah, if you tell someone how they should be, I think more how they could be, then they can aspire to be exactly that. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that's probably what we do is we set forth an ideal and put that in front of kids, and then they try to model that ideal, because every kid wants to be a hero if they're well adjusted, reasonably so. Yeah, America is strange. It's gotten stranger, that's for sure. When I was a kid, there was a lot of hope, and there was a real sense of that. Of course, I grew up in the 80s. Yeah, I think one of the things that makes America a little different and weird and probably hard for maybe for someone from Australia to put a context on is we have so many different cultures here. Like the culture that people see as like Main Street America, that's kind of like the culture I grew up in a lot of ways. Echoes of like the 30s, 40s, and 50s were still around. But then you got like these bi-coastal cultures and just a lot of different cultures, and they're all kind of playing on and off each other. Yeah, I think everybody's happy for peace in Korea. That would be very nice. No, I did not start this drawing on paper. I started this drawing on an iPad Pro, actually. Did a paint sketch and painted it, a good chunk of it in the iPad, and then I moved it onto Photoshop to get all the fine details. I had a cousin who didn't grow up with a father, so he used television fathers to tell him how a man is supposed to be. You know, that's really sad. I feel sorry for your friend, but you know, we did have Mr. Huxtable and the like, and that was a great show, and he was a great role model. It's very sad what happened with Bill Cosby. The hero sometimes takes the blame, so the society doesn't fall into despair and nihilism. Classic Dark Knight. Very interesting. I'll have to think about that. The weird thing I don't get in America is I hear people define other people by their stance in the political system. Hey, yeah, I don't even know who my best mates votes for, only my parents. Yeah, that's a real weird thing here. And it's kind of been like that for a long time, but I don't think it was like that when my parents were growing up. I am nude. You just don't know it. I could probably play some music. I bought a bunch of royalty-free, or I bought a bunch of streaming music. I just don't know how to set it up. Maybe I can play some music. Are you guys getting music? Yes or no? No, you're not getting music. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how to set this up. Oh wait, yeah, maybe I figured it out. Yeah, it's coming through my microphone. I want it to come through my browser. This is gonna put everybody to sleep. Would the Red Rooster's costume change over the years? Yeah, I think so. I don't think I'd want to draw it the same. I mean, when I first drew him, he had striped pants. Maybe I'll post that on Twitter tomorrow. Cock suspenders. I don't know what that is, but that sounds sexy. do some villains this week. I gotta draw some designs. Rogue names. Verminator is my favorite one. We have the 4D man. I'm still working out a couple more of the names. Mark has some placeholder names, and I'm not crazy about all of them. I like the characters, though. Verminator's my favorite. Velvet and Drax, those are good choices. Thank you. Oh, Moto Mouth. That's another one. So the Red Rooster has a motorcycle, and we had to give him a villain with a motorcycle so they can have a big showdown. I think it'll be fun. Cornstalker. Larry's a funny guy. Yes, the Red Rooster has some allies, and there's going to be a lot of them in the first book. So the Red Rooster has to train a protege, as all Red Roosters do, because the mantle's passed down from generation to generation. And then he'll have some, there'll be a femme fatale on his team, and a couple other characters. Strong Boy. That's his protege. Mother Hen. So in the series, I don't know if I want to give that away. Nah, I'm going to keep that one to myself. Is it man to man, as in, like, can it be passed to a woman? Could be. It might be. It might be in the story. You never know. Paul. I don't know. I hadn't thought about his boxing style. That'd be kind of funny, though. Yeah, passing the mantle is part of his job. Better not be porn. Bad jokes tonight. Bad jokes. It's okay, because our book will be full of bad puns, so you'll feel right at home. '70s Red Rooster with a van? I was thinking maybe with a dirt bike. With a dirt bike and a van, that might be kind of cool. And he could ride the dirt bike into the van like Knight Rider did. An evil luchador. Oh, Captain America. It's already been done. Yeah, a wrestler. Huevos rancheros. Yeah. That might be too stereotype. I can't use like real stereotype stuff. I'll get in trouble. The SJWs will come after me. So, yeah, Larry, you're going to think I'm stealing your ideas, Larry, because the 70s, 80s Red Rooster, yeah, that's exactly kind of what he's going to be like. If I ever get that far. That's how he is in my head. He's like on a dirt bike and he's like a daredevil, you know? I mean, this Red Rooster is also a daredevil, but he's sort of man of his time. So, he like an acrobat and a wing walker and a vaudevillian type guy. Lol. the SJWs are already coming for me. Yeah, I think they're coming for all of us. They want you to be joyless. We're not going to let them take our joy away. All right. Dub Shiesty is back in comics after many years away. Glad to have you back. The Red Rooster. What time period did the Red Rooster start? Like the first one, like way, way back? It may be older than this, but I've charted it back to the Crusader period. And so it's La Coque Rouge, right? I get it. It's Red Rooster in French. The La Coque Rouge. He was a landless knight who protected the peasants. And maybe he was a... what's their names? The Crusader Knights that were all burned at the stake. It's late, y'all. I'm tired. A prehistoric Red Rooster. It may go back further than that. God, I want to spoil. I can't spoil it. I can't spoil that. I would just say that the forces that he ends up battling in the main series are more ancient and more evil. The Templars. Come on, why can't I think? I mean, I love history. I mean, it's like I've been up for a long time. Yeah. So I'm thinking when the French king, and I forget which French king, was it Philip? Yeah, he gets the papacy to agree to let him hunt all these Templars down. Then the Red Rooster, the La Coque Rouge, slips away and makes his way to the west, thus beginning the Order of the Dawn in America. And it's passed down like through Indian legend, and makes its way into American history in the colonial period. Somebody says Duvalt. You're gonna trigger people with that. They don't like it when you say that anymore. That's weird. Yeah, 11th century. Then it makes its way to America. Oh, thank you, Adam A. And then you're going to find out, like, it was part of American history. I don't want to spoil too much, but you're going to find out, if we get far enough down the book, that it has this rich history that weaves in with American history, right? So maybe one of Washington's spies, or his most trusted spy, was a Red Rooster. Or maybe there was one at the Alamo, right? Or maybe it's actually some famous person in history that you didn't know, and we'll reveal it at some point. But you know, that's like if we can get there. Yeah, Philip just wanted his money back. He's a asshole. George Washington was a rooster? Maybe. He definitely would have known about it. So it becomes like this kind of secret society in a way. Except this rooster screws it all up. And that's the story we're telling. Okay, I won't spoil it too much. I'm not spoiling the Indiegogo, though. I'm just giving you some context. Now, this song sucks. Oh, it's over. The free range Masons. That's funny. The Culper ring? What is the Culper ring? I don't know what that is. You're gonna have to tell me, Larry. Are there any plans to release Red Rooster digitally? I'd love to pick up more of these Kickstarters. We're doing Indiegogo, but shipping often costs way more than comics, and you're in the UK. So yeah, we're not going to offer. I don't think we're going to offer a PDF for this, because as soon as we do, it's going to be put on the internet, and I think it's going to. And I don't really necessarily care about that. I want to get it into comic book stores afterwards in a second or third printing. And as I understand it, when we release into comic book stores, then it will be available on Comixology. But similar to what Ethan's doing with Cyberfrog, I want to get this Indiegogo in everybody's hands before everything leaks out, so that our backers are getting something really special and are the first ones to get it. And, you know, there aren't pirated copies floating around. So, yes, but you're just going to have to wait a long time. Oh, the Culper Ring was George Washington's spy network. Right, yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He was one of Washington's spies. So you'd pay $30 for 100 pages of oversized origin story? Okay. I'll think about it. It's maybe too many. My story isn't that long. We've already got the story worked out, and it's gonna be 48-page special. But our first stretch goal is going to be extend the length of the story. So if you guys back the project, our first stretch goal will be to add 12 or 16 pages or so, and I think it needs it. So if we can afford to buy more room in the book, and that's the first thing we're going to do, is give you guys more story and make it a better story. Yeah, so Kapow Cola, you're talking about the soda? Yeah, we may actually make this soda. I'm talking to a bottler. I'm working out the costs. I think we can do it. It'll have to be a higher tier package, though. Order of the Dawn. Yeah, that's the Red Rooster Society. So, well, I don't want to give that. I'm not going to give that away too. Oh golly, I keep wanting to tell you guys about this book, but I want there to be some surprises. So some of the stuff we're doing with the Indiegogo, I think they'll have tie-ins with the story. So when you're reading the book, you're going to have this. I want you to have this meta experience, where things that exist in the book are products and things you can actually hold in your hand, and you can absorb yourself in. Yeah, so the bottler we're talking to uses, they don't use cane sugar, but they do use real sugar. It's not that corn crap. I wouldn't poison you guys like that. No. No, that would be cruel. I try not to drink corn syrup. But I do love Dr. Pepper. Yeah, cane sugar is the best. Yeah, this would kind of be like a chapter 0. But it's very the original intention, we've plotted 12 issues, and it was to do a comic book serial, and that might happen, but we also might do what Larry suggested, and have it be like a series of graphic albums. That's a possibility too. It really just, there's too many variables now to to know. You never know what can happen. We get this thing out and people take an interest, and who knows? No super chats yet. I haven't logged in enough watch hours. But thank you for thinking about sending me money. I appreciate it. We'll get there. So Larry, you dislike seeing crowdfunding for issue 1 and then a separate crowdfund for issue 2. Yeah, I can kind of get that. So yeah, this is like a I don't here's what I think's gonna happen. People are seeing the enthusiasm and the cash on Indiegogo and the current wave of what's happening, and I think everybody's gonna start crashing the gates all at once. I believe this is not going to last forever. It on Indiegogo, so we're going to have to find another mechanism for delivering this content to you guys and getting everything sold and expanding our audiences. So I mean, things like Cyberfrog. I mean, maybe Ethan will sell 8,000 units. And he'll make a lot of money, and maybe we can do something similar. That would be fantastic. But we're gonna have to find a way to expand this audience so that we can have sustainable growth, and then begin to expand our product lineup. I think this is gonna give us a great base, a great way to kick off, and maybe we can take some of this money, invest it in other books, and create new things. But we're gonna have to find a way to get this to expand the audience, because everybody's gonna come crashing the gate at Indiegogo, and then they're gonna milk the cow dry. That's what I think. Yeah, okay, good idea, Yami Caleb. I'll check the mail restrictions for Europe and Australia and other places. That's a good idea. Netflix for comics. I don't know, maybe. I'd be lying if I hadn't thought about something like that. I think a subscription model makes a lot of sense. Find a fulfillment service, which those are readily available these days. Yeah, expanding the audience. Best way, take some people with great ideas to come up with some great ways. Well, there's some great people working on that problem. So you never know. It's going to take some good salesmanship and a good, yeah, it's going to take some good salesmanship and some people that believe in what is possible. Certainly the talent is there. Weekly High Council of Comic Book Artists. That might be fun. I was on with Ethan the other day. That was fun. We're going to do it again. I think you're going to see a lot more artists come onto YouTube. It's another prediction I'm making. Maybe some writers too. I'm surprised. Yeah, you're going to see a lot more coming on. Mad Cow, do as much fan art as you want, man. All right, or lady, I don't know. You could be either one. We're hosting the Red Rooster Art Contest. So everybody listening, 27 watchers. We are on. This is on Twitter. We're gonna put the details out later this week. Red Rooster Art Contest. Black and white line art of any Red Rooster you can imagine, including the one that's I've been painting here and that will appear in my book. Black and white line art, scannable. The winner will be colored by Elizabeth, who's my Eisner-nominated colorist wife. She's very, very talented, and will be printed in the back of our Indiegogo special. So yeah, have at it. Enter the contest. Hashtag Red Rooster Art Contest. So that way we can find your work. You could tag me on Twitter or send it to me on somewhere else, and I'll share it. Yeah, I think Edwin's gonna come on with me this week. Maybe Thursday. Jason Fabok, I don't know how to pronounce his name, will be on YouTube, but he doesn't want to do art. He wants to cover comic books and toys. Oh, okay. You know, everybody's got to find a niche. I want to do art. I kind of like this format. I like talking to you guys. I think we could probably get 100 people in here if we did it. If we didn't do it at the butt crack of dawn. Indiegogo is a bubble, says Adam A. Yeah, I am right. I'm always right. Almost. What state is the Red Rooster from? Ooh, I mean, you know, I was inspired by the landscape I live in and grew up around, which is Arkansas. But Arkansas is kind of like a mix of things. It's got like a delta, it's got hills, it's got a forest, a great big national forest. So in many ways, I'm taking all of these amalgamations and placing it in a fictional place. What I want to do is let every reader project their own sense of where it is. It's a fantasy in many ways. So I'm not gonna. We're not dealing in real towns. The names of the towns are gonna be like Gotham. Big Town is our town, and the little river runs through Big Town. But see, the river's big and the town is small. Get it? It's kind of funny. I want people to project their own ideas onto this kind of fantasy world we're constructing. The Red Hen. Go for it. Texarkana, yeah. Like I said, I want you to picture, I want you to project the things that are familiar to you onto the things I'm presenting in the book. Enter the contest as many times as you like. The goal isn't necessarily to win, but for everybody to get better. Yeah, I don't know why Ethan didn't do an art contest. Am I gonna enter the contest? No. But Elizabeth will color the winner. Unless you want to paint it yourself. But, I think I wouldn't recommend that. Favorite superhero movie of all time? I'm gonna have to think about that. I just don't want to give you like a generic answer. And my brain isn't like, I'm not firing on all cylinders right now. Uh, not really. I haven't read much manga. Anything you recommend? I'll give it a shot. Should I read manga or Marvel Comics? Doctor Strange was cool. I like that. I'm kind of partial to Guardians of the Galaxy, but is that a superhero film? Sort of. It's more like a science fiction film. Not seen Thor Ragnarok, but everybody tells me to go see it. I don't stay up on the movies like I should. I just watched The Last Jedi like a week and a half ago. I wasn't like rushing out to see that or anything. Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard about this. Bakuman. It's a manga about two young guys breaking into the manga business with good art. Okay. Yeah, that sounds cool. I like it. Wow, Thor's on Netflix already. Okay, I'll check it out. I love the marketing. They did a great job on that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna rip on The Last Jedi. I think we all know it was a terrible film. And no point in stealing Ethan's thunder. I thought about going on, I thought about telling Ethan that The Last Jedi was the greatest Star Wars film of all time, and then playing like a bit. Like, have a big debate, like a big showdown, where I defend The Last Jedi and he tries to tear it apart. I just don't think I could, I don't think I could hold up. Like, I'm a pretty good debater, too, but I don't think I could do it. It was too bad. But that would have been fun, though. It did have women in it. I like women in movies. Does anybody here have a problem with women in movies? Man, that's bad. I like women in movies. I like to look at women. I like to hear them talk. So, if the message of the Last Jedi was, we win by not by destroying what we hate, but saving what we love, does that make Ethan Van Sciver the Rose Tico of comic books? What do you guys think? Is he saving what we love? I have a male gaze problem. I'll admit to that. Yeah, okay. Ethan Van Sciver is the Rose Tico of comic books. Saving what we love. Okay, yeah, I think I will call him that. Tico going from hated to loved to being on t-shirts. Yeah, it's just it's a meme. It's you know, an avatar for our disdain of bad writing, I guess, and poor shoehorned character development. In such a way. I don't know. It's too late. I can't wax philosophical. Yeah, I do think maybe he did feel bad. He was a little hard on the character right up front. Have I ever wanted to work as a concept artist for movies or games? I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. Actually, no. Yeah. Sure. Because I was always really inspired by those Art of Star Wars books. I wanted to work for Lucasfilm. I either wanted to draw comic books or design the next Star Wars films, like be like the next Ralph McQuarrie or whatever his name was. I can't remember. I think that's it. But I dodged that bullet because that would have been the Phantom Menace. and I was just too young. That movie came out when I was in college, so I felt like I missed the Lucasfilm boat. I wasn't old enough. But I did want to do that, and I also wanted to paint Dungeons and Dragons stuff. That's what I wanted to do when I was in junior high. That's when I started painting. Started painting dragons, and warriors, and wizards, and babes, and all that cool stuff. But I did start painting early, and that made me a good painter. Yeah, hard to separate the actor from the actress, or the character. Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's actually, I mean, it's not, you know, yeah, people get wrapped up in these characters, and then they identify the actress and the character to be one and the same, because not everybody's super bright all the time. So people take it real personally, which is really weird. It's really weird to watch people get so upset about roasting fiction and comic books and Star Wars. That's really strange. It's really strange. I think I don't want to say normal people, to the average person, that's really really weird. Like, you can't make fun of Star Wars or comic books. No, I thought the actress was really, yeah, I think she's really sweet. She seems like a sweet lady. And I think she did a pretty good job. But man, that was some pretty, that was some pretty poor writing. Yeah. Yes, I did have the Star Wars storyboard books. I looked over them all the time. They made me a better comic book artist. Oh, well, thank you, Never Cold. Thanks for coming by. I've been a comic book artist for many years, maybe about 12. My wife is a color artist, twice Eisner nominated. I've did a lot of work on Captain America. We have, over the last several years, been running a small illustration company, art services business. We service coloring contracts for Image comic books, or we did. We're winding down some of those now, so we can focus on our creator-owned initiatives like the Red Rooster that we're going to be crowdfunding on Indiegogo. Thanks for joining us. The average person nowadays thinks confused people need their own bathrooms and will protest and complain about it. Yeah, I guess they will. Yeah, that's like a problem I never knew existed. It popped up out of nowhere. Did you guys see these stories recently about the drop in IQ? What do you think about that? It's a little disturbing. It's like for the first time ever. And it's always accompanied by pictures of millennials looking into their cell phones. Not that I don't always have my face in one either, so yeah, there's that. Flat Earth, I don't know, to me, I think the Flat Earth was one of these things that probably started on 4chan as a lark, trying to get a few people to believe it, and it got like way out of control. I told a guy one time that it's my buddy's friend, and a coworker of one of my best friends. My best friend's a really smart guy. I'm sure his coworkers are really smart. And I had just gotten to know them, and I told the guy I was a flat earther, and he believed me. And I didn't know how to take that. Like, I thought he would laugh, knowing I was joking around. But yeah, he didn't know if I was kidding or not. I was kind of offended. Yeah, so you're gonna take that my flat Earth comment and like take it out of context and spread it all over the internet, aren't you? That's the danger of being on YouTube, I guess. You guys are just gonna take things and ruin my good reputation. Neil Adams. Yeah, I used to listen to this show called Coast to Coast AM. You guys know what that is? With George Norrie. It used to be with Art Bell. God rest his soul. It was one of my favorite shows. And Neil Adams would come on, I don't know, like once a year or so, to talk about his expanding Earth theories. It was weird. But that's why I listened to the show, because it was really weird. And it would be on late at night. I think it's still on, Coast to Coast. Yeah, I know it is, because I listened a bit a few months ago when Art Bell passed away. I used to draw to Coast for years and years and years. I was a big radio guy in terms of listening to the radio. Now I'm with you on YouTube. It's better than TV, I think. I do have a Bigfoot story. Well, I don't know if it's a Bigfoot story, but speaking of weird things they talk about on Coast to Coast. Yeah, the guy flying over Area 51. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I don't know. If I'm gonna tell my Bigfoot story with 19 people watching, it's a fun story. I'm gonna save it for later. Well, because I didn't know exactly what I saw. It was one of the weirdest experiences of my life. I'll tell it now, and then I'll tell it again later on. So I was riding back. I was living in New Jersey, And I was on my way back from Chicago Comic-Con, Wizard World Chicago. And it was like 3 in the morning. And so I don't know if you've driven that. I think it's Highway, is it 80? I want to think it's Highway 80, or Interstate 80. Going west to east across Pennsylvania. And there's nothing there. It's called the Watershed District. And it's just literally nothing for just miles and miles and miles and miles and miles. It's like a forest or something. Like a state forest or national forest. I don't know what it is. And I was getting real bleary-eyed. Like I probably should have not been driving. And it was pitch black. And nobody was on the road. And I was in the middle of nowhere. There was no gas stations. No cars on the side of the road. No towns. No nothing. And just me and my headlights. And a passenger. And I was getting real tired, and I thought I was seeing something. I saw something large in the distance in front of me run across the interstate. And it looked big, and it lumbered like it lumbered. It was a strange gait that this thing gave off. And I never really got a good look at it because my headlights obviously were not close enough. I was only illuminating the first, I don't know, 50 feet in front of me, and this was probably, I don't know, 50 yards or so, and then just ran across and down into the median, and then I couldn't see anything from the side when I passed where it was. And then I looked at my passenger, and they looked back at me, and they're like, I saw it too. Bigfoot was the passenger. Now, that would have been a better story, yeah. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was a bear, but it looked like it was walking on 2 legs. I swear. It's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. Maybe it was a bear, but it looked too big to be a bear, and it was like it was walking on 2 legs. Yeah, I wasn't sleepy after that. That's for doggone sure. That was freaky. Chupacabra. We don't have chupacabras here. That's in Texas. We have the Arkansas howler, which is probably just like a coyote with a bad cough. And we have The Legend of Boggy Creek. You guys remember that? The movie from the 70s? Anybody remember that? It was really campy and corny, and for like, I think until like a few years ago, well, probably until Sling Blade, it was the most famous film made in Arkansas. Yeah, so I've been recently doing some research on the Legend of Boggy Creek, for a project. Anyway, it's kind of silly. So my buddy, one of my good buddies in college, he's from Texas. He came to school in South. It's from the whole legend takes place in. Oh, what's the name of the town? I can't remember now. Anyway, he went to school down there for a year, and he joined like the Bigfoot Society, and he went out there and camped at the swamp or the bog or whatever it was, and interviewed all these people around town, and it's like the town hasn't changed since they made that movie. Like, it looks exactly the same way, and the people are all the same. Like, they haven't nobody's changed, and everybody still talks about the movie. It's like it's weird. They have gift shops and stuff, and like Boggy is the Boggy Creek, the folk. That's the name of the town, the Folk Monster. So Folk, Arkansas, and so the whole town is like, everybody knows the people that were in the film, and they all still talk about it, and that's kind of weird in and of itself. And they have little gift shops and stuff. And so my buddy went down there and interviewed some of these people and some of the people that were in the film, and yeah, so it turns out that the real story is not as scary, or actually maybe it's more. It's all right. Here's the real story. You guys want to know the real story? So it's because it was a bunch of scuzzy racists. And bootleggers and whiskey distillers. So that's it. They made up the monster, and it just kind of ran with it. It's not very dramatic, but that's the real story. Like Deliverance. Yeah, I don't think you'd want to. I don't think they're probably nice enough now, right? But it's probably not a place you'd want to like set up shop and live. Yeah, lame. I think we're dwindling here. I'm getting pretty tired, guys. Yeah, I do plan to sleep today. I plan to sleep here in just a little bit. I want to really focus on painting this, knocking a few things out on this painting, and then I'm probably gonna sleep all day. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm starting to slur my words. That's how tired I am. I'm not drinking. Yeah, let's do this again. Let's stay up late and tell ghost stories. And talk about Coast to Coast. I love that show. Okay, we'll do that again. Good night, everybody. Good morning. Have a great day. Bye-bye.